Hi everyone, welcome back to Life Notes with Priyanka. Today I want to talk about something I think I misunderstood for a very long time: weightlifting. Or more specifically, why so many are afraid of lifting good weights, especially women. For years, I genuinely believed that if women lifted weights, they would become bulky or masculine and somehow lose their femininity, right? Maybe you have heard these comments too, like, don't lift heavy, you will start looking like a man, it will affect your uterus, and then it will affect your pregnancy, or it it's not good for women. Just do walking, yoga instead, or dancing maybe. Growing up, I heard these statements so often that I never stopped question them. Not just growing up, right? Like even recently, or my colleagues, relatives, friends, sometimes they come up and say these things. So I think when enough people repeat something, it starts sounding like, okay, it might be the truth. But today, when I look back, I realize most of these opinions, weren't coming from doctors or experts. They were just simply beliefs passed from one generation to another. And then that's how, many myths survive. What's funny is that when I think about my childhood, I was actually doing strength training, long before I even entered a gym. Like I said earlier, I grew up in a village. We didn't have dumbbells or we didn't have gym memberships. We didn't even know that there'll be a gym where people go and work out. We didn't had fitness influencers coming and telling that you have to lift weight. But we were doing physical work. I remember carrying water from the well whenever, not just summertime, during other days as well. Sometimes the containers, or they used to weigh around 10 kg, sometimes 15 or 20 as well. And we weren't carrying them for a few steps. We walked a long distance carrying that weight. And then before carrying the water, we had to pull it off from the well itself, and then the water level could be very deep, right? Like several feet below. And then that required arm strength, and then back strength, even grip, and then core. At the time, nobody called it as strength training. Nobody called it as functional fitness. It was simply life. And what's interesting is that nobody worried that carrying those heavy water containers would make us look like them. And uh, so I was literally squatting and then doing sumo deadlift, and pulling the rope from well, with the container tied, which weighs around 5 to 10 kgs. And that time nobody worried, carrying those heavy water containers would make us look like men. And nobody come and say that, it's gonna affect your uterus. And nobody even said that, you will look like a man and you will become a bodybuilder. And somehow when woman picks up a dumbbell in gym, suddenly everyone becomes concerned. The weight is same, only the perception changes, right? Another thing I have heard growing up was that lifting weights could affect a woman reproductive health. Many women might have heard similar warnings. The problem is that these comments are often repeated without understanding of science. Someone hears it from someone else, or their parents, or their grandparents. Eventually, it becomes accepted as a wisdom they're passing down the line. But repetition doesn't make something true, right? We believed so many things. We believed Earth was flat, but that misconception is gone, right? With the science, same thing. There are so many things which we believed to be true, and now they are not true. And then learning about weightlifting was really an eye opening for me. Over the last few years, I have been reading books, listening to podcasts, and following experts talk about women's health, aging, and fitness. And my biggest motivation or inspiration comes from my husband. He met so many people, his friends, and then he used to go to gym, right? He have seen so many girls doing workout, and then he has seen so many athletes doing all those things. So he encouraged me to do uh, weightlifting, and then he pushed me to do that. And then he made me believe that lifting weight is not gonna make me look like a man. It's gonna help me build my strength. And also, one thing I keep hearing repeatedly is women need strength training. Not because we want to become bodybuilders, not not because we want to gain giant muscles, or but muscles matter. As women age, we naturally lose muscle mass, and if we don't actually maintain it, everyday activities becomes harder over time. And that completely changed my perspective. I stopped seeing exercise as something, that helps me look a certain way. I started seeing it as an investment in my future. Today I genuinely believe that taking care of my health is one of the greatest gifts I can give to myself, and also one of the greatest gifts I can give to people I love. Because when I'm healthy, energetic, and strong, I can show up better for my family and then my friends and myself. One thing that is very important to me is independence. I love being able to do things on my own. I don't want to depend on others for things my body should be capable of doing. I want to carry my own bags. I want to climb my own stairs, and then I want to remain active, as capable as when I grow older. And then now I understood strength training will support me in that goal. For that goal, there was actually a period when I stopped lifting weights. I will talk about that journey in a future episode. But I noticed something interesting during that time. Small tasks became harder, things that I had never paid attention before. Even something as simple as grating ginger for a tea felt tiring, and then my energy level dropped, and then I felt more weak and then tired often. I had very less motivation. And it made me realize something. Strength isn't about what happens in the gym. You know, strength shows up in everyday life, day to day task. It's like carrying groceries, climbing stairs, lifting luggage, and even a small household chorus. It's been it's being able to move through life, without feeling exhausted all the time. Those things matter. And when I think about it, maybe my first fitness coach was the village life itself. Growing up, we didn't know the words like mobility, flexibility, and fitness or movement patterns, but our lifestyle naturally included them. We squatted all the time. Deep squats were completely normal. We sat on the floor to eat. We got up from the floor without thinking twice. We walked more, climbed stairs, and even carried things. We moved our bodies naturally throughout the day. I remember being able to comfortably sit in a deep squat. Now my knees hurt. That time my knees never complained, and then my uh, hips felt mobile. My body was simply moved. I was very light, like a feather. Today I can see the difference. I think modern life has given us convenience, comfort, but it has also taken so many opportunities uh, from us, like like normal moving and then normal sitting on the floor, just feeling lighter. We sit more and then walk less and then squat less or sit on the floor less. And over time, I think our bodies adapt to this lifestyle, and it's not a good way. What surprised me most after returning to strength training wasn't how I looked. Uh, right, like how I looked after lifting weight. It's more about how I felt. uh, how it helped me to make to the how it helped me to become more confident, less tired, and then more energetic. I wasn't becoming bulky, and then I wasn't suddenly looking like a bodybuilder or something. I think I was building lean muscles and then becoming stronger version of myself. And that's another myth that needs to be changed or challenged. Many people think women will automatically become bulky from lifting weights. If it were that easy, every person in the gym would look like a professional bodybuilder, right? And then building large amount of muscle takes years of training and then nutrition, consistency, and genetics. Most women who do strength training, I think, simply become stronger, healthier, and then more resilient. I think the deeper issue is that society often associate strength with men, but strength just doesn't belong to men, right? It belongs to humans. Being strong doesn't make a woman less feminine. A woman who lifts weight isn't trying to become a man. She is just trying to become healthier, and then she's just trying to protect her future self, and then she's just trying to stay capable and independent. And if you are listening to this and you are thinking I'm too old to start, or I have never exercised this before, and then I just want to remind you something. It's never too late to start something. You don't need to become an athlete, and then you don't need to lift heavy immediately, right? And you don't need to uh, get into perfect body to start going to a gym. You just simply need to start one walk, one workout, one push up, one squat. I think one small step at a time, because the strength you build today is the gift you are going to give yourself uh, for the person you are going to become in the future. If there's one thing I want to take away from this episode, it's this: don't let outdated beliefs stop you from becoming stronger person. Question the stories you have told, especially the ones that make you afraid of taking care of yourself, right? Because strength training didn't make me bulky, it didn't make me less feminine, it didn't make me look like a man. It made me healthier, more energetic, more confident, and most importantly, it helped me feel capable in my own body. And for me, that's worth far more than any number on weighing scale. Thank you so much for listening. If you ever been told that lifting weight isn't for women, I would love to hear your experience. Until next time, take care of yourself, keep moving, and remember, being strong doesn't make you less of a woman. It helps you stay independent, capable, and fully yourself. Life Notes with Priyanka.